I know it's been a long time since I've made a video, so I figured I'd update you guys. It's kind of been a wild year. Started a few different businesses, moved, started a different job, so kind of been wild, and now I'm ready to get back on track. So I'm gonna kind of update you what I've been doing with the car, what I've done, since I haven't really done any updating with it. So, here you guys go. Car's up on jack stands. Why is that? Well, good news and bad news. I'm gonna be inserting some clips, but I took this down to the Ozarks on a little bro trip. Don't mind the clicking of my diesel heater, but took it down to hub dyno that, see what it did. We got it tuned on methanol, obviously. Ran it up to 30 PSI in the dyno. Had some issues, mainly with this thing was sucking all the air out of the cell. We had a wind blowing all the exhaust back into the cell. So even with the fans going, really wasn't able to do too much. But anyways, made like 1,300 wheel horsepower, but in the log, you'd see it spike and then it would just trend downward. So it was actually making quite a bit more power than that. But none of that really matters. So we took it to the track down there with Kevin at ORP. Did 3 or 4 passes. First pass, basically blew the tires off, wrong setting. Second pass went to 597, which was amazing. And then the third pass went to 561. And the next pass went to 557. And then we decided to turn it up and trans broke. So when I spec'd this trans out, I spec'd it out for a 5.3 making 800 horsepower or something like that. Well, this obviously may make quite a bit more than that. So it broke the application piston in it. So I didn't have second or reverse. And in this thing, I'm leaving in second. So we got some upgrades going on. Let me see if I can get you down here. Lucky for you guys, you get to see my filthy garage. All the transmission fluid. But anyways, I got the transmixer back up there. And we added a bunch more things to it. We did a Pro Mod drum and a hardened input shaft. He recommended that we do a hardened output shaft and intermediate shaft, but to be honest, I didn't really want to spend the extra money to do it. So hopefully this will hold up. If not, we'll be pulling it out again. But if I do break it again, I'd kind of like to do a close ratio 3-speed 400, which is quite costly, but that's really what I would like to do if I have the funds at that time. But anyways, trans is back in. We have a track day kind of set for March 2nd if the weather holds, which is 3 months-ish away. Actually, yeah, 3 months exactly right now away. So I'm gonna show you what else I'm doing. Bring you back to the rear of the car. My buddy Travis Martin was selling some rear brakes for these. I just have stock eBayers on this right now, and they really aren't up to the task. So what we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna pull the wheels off, pull those off, and then I'm gonna be comparing weights between the TBM rears and the stock F bodies. And I'm also gonna be pulling out the, oh, look at those sweatpants. Pulling out the third member to swap it out to a spool. Right now it has an Eaton wave track in it, which are pretty heavy. And I was having problems with the car under power wanting to go to the right. I added more anti-roll bar to it, and the weights are pretty close, and it didn't seem like it was helping. So I want to pull that diff out and put a spool in and see if that gets rid of the car wanting to drive to the right. I'm assuming that's not the problem, but process of elimination, I guess. Plus, according to my Googling, it'll save 13 to 14 pounds of rotating mass. And the Pro Mod drum I put in there saved another 5 pounds. And then with the brakes, I calculated out I might save like 40 to 50 pounds in rotating mass, and that'll be pretty cool. Trying to lighten this pig up. It's like 3,400 with me in it right now. I'd like to get it to 32-ish, maybe, or so. Somewhere around there. But I'm gonna start pulling wheels off, maybe get that third member out today, and we're gonna see what we can do. Catch you in a little bit. Well, we had to make a pit stop to Harbor Freight to get a slide hammer to get that bad girl out, but she's out now, so we're cooking with fire. We're about to throw some stuff in the scales and see what we saved. Well, we got all the stock stuff on here. Sorry for the noise again. 26 pounds and 11.3 ounces. So we'll take this eBay garbage off and see what the TBM stuff weighs. So we got 11 pounds and 14.6 ounces for the TBM setup. I'm gonna take just the rotors now. That way I can weigh the difference between rotating mass so we know that metric. But that's pretty decent weight savings in my opinion. So the rotor for the TBM is 6 pounds and 6.7 ounces. So take this lady off. And that one is 14.88 ounces. So that's, I mean, that's another, I think what, 7.5, 8 pounds. So pretty decent. I just wish my sugar daddy would buy me fronts, but we'll get these put on for now. While I'm upgrading brakes and have everything apart, I figured it was time to go to a spool. This is about, I don't know, 7 to 10 pounds lighter. The shipping weight on the spool was 9 pounds, and the shipping weight with bearings on the wave track was 21 pounds. So, you know, I'll say 9, 7, I don't know, somewhere around there. I just wanted to see if maybe the spool was causing it to drive differently. I think I have an inadequate anti-roll bar, but I'm gonna put a spool in it, lose weight. It's a race car, it needs one anyways. So I'm gonna go slap this in the car and then we'll get to installing the rear brakes. Well, since I can't work on the rear anymore, since I got that bearing issue, started on the front. So took the heavy stock ones off. It's 29 pounds and 14.4 ounces. I wish TBM had a custom hub for these. Let me zoom out. Because, I mean, I know that that's probably not the hugest deal, but where their hubs that they make for other vehicles just spin and spin and spin and spin, it would be a good upgrade. So, Doug Cook, give me some 4th gen goodness. Now this isn't exact because I just got this whole pack of bolts sitting here, but, oh boy, yeah. So it's like 8 pounds, 9 ounces. So that's substantial. I mean, that is pretty wild. Part of the TBM installation instructions to put a little red Loctite on these bolts and torque them to spec. So we're going to torque that to spec right now. Yeah, that's about right where it needs to be. You know, a few ooga dooga, a little bit extra ooga dooga. That's where you want to be. It says right in the instructions. So anyways, get you one of these, Ooga dooga, Loctite, you're set. Well, my buddy Josh came over and we got them all bled. So they're good to go. I'm actually getting ready to lower the car out. The pedal feels great. Obviously, I have no idea how they brake yet, but I'm really excited to give it a whirl. So that'll wrap up the brake portion of this video. I figured I better do one of these numbers.